legacy. Wednesday night tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Mel and PIP's in on this legacy. Let's go. What you know about this legacy? Wednesday night tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Get your popcorn, I know you need this medicine. Let's go.
What's going on, people? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Mark and Will Show. Hopefully Mark will join shortly. But we got a special show tonight. Pretty much I can tell because you guys are already on here reviewing. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. We got this man that all he does is go to Sweet 16. He likes trips to Lexington, so he's going to be joining real shortly, but we go ahead and get the stuff out of the way that we do. And today also was a good day. We had our polls, so make sure you go on Twitter and Facebook and make sure you vote for these kiddos, our players of the week. Definitely do that. Please do that. Show them love. They deserve it. And all the sports. So we got the basketball. We got a special one for the young ladies. That poll is strictly, the national was strictly for Sacred Heart for winning that championship. So congratulations to them for taking care of business, without a doubt. So go ahead and check those polls out. Like I said, it's on Facebook. And where to find us at? Mark and Will Show, period. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. You don't stop. Instagram. You're on YouTube. We got the gaming channel, Mark and Will Gaming, on Twitch, and we also got that on YouTube. Website, markandwillshow.com. That group, like I said, if you want to know where, go ahead and vote. We actually have a special group for that. That's really taken off, so go ahead to the Facebook group page. And also, you see the intro is Legacy, so you know our guest is coming from Mel, our PIP, and tonight is definitely Mel in the building. And on that poll, you got two male boys on there doing a thing, so Jack and Michi, so make sure you vote for them without a doubt. So let's go ahead and get this rocking and rolling. Special guest tonight. We got Coach Haworth, Mel High School in the building, back again, once again. And what's up, Coach? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good.
I know you're doing good, man. I mean, you got that smile, you can't wipe that smile off you, man. I see you took care of some business last week, and we got some business to go ahead and take care of in the Sweet 16. When do you guys play?
We play Thursday at 11 a.m. versus Breathitt County, who's out of the 14th region.
Okay. You worked your magic, man. I mean, that's all you do. I know you probably had a lot of doubters because you lost some players and it started the season off kind of slow, but man, you guys turned it around without a doubt. So what was the recipe, man? Give us the recipe. What turned things around for the male Bulldogs?
We were 3-7, but I would say more than anything is that we got our football players back, and you know how big I am on. I love guys that play 2 sports, 3 sports, whatever it is they want to play. Coach Wolf's one of my really good friends, and we've really done a good job of making sure all the kids that want to play football and basketball and baseball, whatever it is that they want to play, make sure they know that they got our support in all the sports. And when I got Max, Shema, and Antonio back, it changed our team. And early in the season we had a tough schedule, and so I could schedule every year at Male where we win 25 games, but the goal for me as a coach is I want to get to the state tournament, have a chance to win a state championship. And, so I think our schedule can really help us, by the end of the year, be that team that, where we're sitting at the table and hopefully having a chance to win the region.
You and I, we had some conversations and things like that on that nature. How was the guy's spirit? Like I said, you lost a key member, but you also returned some great members in some youth besides bringing the football. So how was the guys their spirits beginning of the season?
They were great. Michi's probably the best team leader I've ever had, and and Jack's a great leader, and Ethan and Xavier, the four seniors, and I just thought they did a really good job of not losing confidence. And of course, we were constantly talking to them. If you're losing to bad teams, that's one thing, but if you're losing to good teams, and you don't have all your bullets, in the chamber, then you got a chance to be really good. And so they kept the belief in what we were trying to tell them as a coaching staff, and it ended up working out for us in the end.
And you hit it. The senior leadership that you guys have. It's different because, like you said, because you embrace the football players and they play a very important role. A lot of teams may not have it. A lot of players that has joined your team. How many football players did you guys have come and join you that's been on the team anyway, but finished up?
I got 3 that's in my top 7, and then you had Brandon Richardson. So we added 4, and actually Colin, he's a freshman. So we actually added 5 to our whole 18-man roster.
Let me ask you, Coach, how long would you say that it take them to get back? I mean, granted they come from football, but basketball shape is different. But how long did it take them to get their rhythm?
They got back December 8th, and I felt like it took them until about January 8th, 9th, about a month, I would say, is when I started being like, okay, they've got it. They're working hard. They're getting themselves in shape, and they're starting to make basketball plays.
And so basically, when they joined and got their legs and everything underneath them and in jail, did that break up any kind of chemistry? Like, did you have to reset it? Like sometimes when people rejoin or join a team, it takes them a while. You know what I'm saying? That everybody getting that rotation, because how many games did you guys play without them?
We played about 5 games without them, 5 or 6 without them. Okay. I would say that it definitely took some adjustment. I don't think we were very good, at the King of the Bluegrass. I thought we fought hard. I thought we played really hard, had really good attitudes. But I just don't think we executed very well, at the King of the Bluegrass. And then I saw a lot of improvement at Christ Presbyterian Academy down in Nashville. Brentwood Academy was number 1 in the state, and they ended up actually just winning a state title this past weekend. But, we were tied with them with about a minute and a half to go. And so I was like, man, we could be really, really good when we put all this together. And then we won the last 2 games of that tournament. And we came out of the break and beat J-Town, and then got into the LIT and got to the championship game of that. So that's when I really started seeing us turn a corner.
Okay. And I was going to ask you, when did you go outside, it's like the light bulb, okay, I got something special right here. We can go ahead and take care of business with that. Because you guys play in a difficult region. You had to see, teams like Ballard again and again and again, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff like that. Being that you done had great teams, period, no matter where you've been at. Let me ask you this, what does a Sweet 16 team look like besides this? Like going into the season, do you already know, or do you already think, okay, for us to get to this point, this is what needs to happen?
I think that state tournament teams, for one, they take great shots on the offensive end. They execute set plays. They execute their motion offense, and they take great shots. I don't think that any team at the state tournament has taken bad shots and done that for the whole year to win a region. 2, I think they defend at a high level. I just think it's harder to guard in the full court than it is the half court. So, I think if you can become a really good pressing team, in the full court, and then when you're not able to press up on a team, they got really good guards, and you can use those concepts in the half court. You've already instilled toughness in them, because it's a whole lot harder to play in the full court than half court. So I think, from a defensive standpoint, are you disciplined enough to guard ball screens, cross screens, flare screens, down screen, all those types of screens, and make it tough on your opponents? And then 3 is rebounding. We're a little bit undersized, have been all year. Can you fight to keep guys off the glass and really rebound as a team instead of like as individuals. When you have a Caleb or Dez,
Right.
you can maybe leak out a guy and say Caleb's going to get it most of the time, and then we can start our fast break. With this team, I'm not able to do that. 2020, just a phenomenal team. We're going to end up probably with 7 or 8 Division I players on that team. We shot it well, we defended well, we rebounded well. There was no weaknesses. We had a ton of size, so our room for error with that team was so great that we could play a C game probably and be in the state finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where it's like we don't have that type of size, so we have to play an A game every night, and that's a good thing. That means we have to be on top of our stuff and have great practices, and then hopefully it translates to the game.
Coach, let me ask you. You had a stretch when you played I don't know, was it like 6 games in 7 days, something like that? And that's really tournament style times 2. Was that
Right.
Is that something that you definitely wanted to do on purpose to get them? Okay, you got to fight through it. You got to keep going. Each game is going to be different, no matter who the competition. What was your thought process on that when you had scheduled that?
Yeah, I love playing that because in the state tournament, so we do everything to prepare for the state tournament, and so in the state tournament, you're going to have to play Thursday, Friday, and then 2 games Saturday if you're going to win it all. And so we have to get used to playing multiple games, in a 3-day span. And so I think playing 6 games in 7 days helps prepare us for that. And then also you're playing different styles of teams. And so some may like to run up and down. Some may press you. Some may zone you. Some may slow it down. And you have to grind out a win. And so it's really good for our team to be able to have gone through that to help prepare us for this moment.
Coach, we had a nice old storm, a windstorm that kind of messed up a lot of, school district, neighborhoods and things like that. How did you keep the guys grounded? Because I think your games got moved, location
Right.
and period. How do you gather the troops and get them focused on when something like that happens?
I always talk to them about controlling the things that we're in control of, and not you really can't help weather and those type of things. And so I texted them, called them, said, hey, we're not going to be able to practice or play today. If you're out in JCPS, then you can't practice. And I said, but here's the good news. Ballard can't practice or play as well. So whenever they give us the time that we can practice and play, we're going to come in ready and have a really good practice and shoot arounds and get ready for Ballard. And so, we were able to do that. We thought we had really good maturity with that, because that could be a difficult situation if you don't.
Right. And like I said, you guys definitely passed with flying colors with that. How difficult is it to play? I mean, I said it earlier, and you just talked about Ballard. How difficult is it to play a team 3 to 4 times? Because you guys know what they do and vice versa. How difficult is that?
It's a challenge, but it's a great challenge. Like, I love the male Ballard rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love playing that game. It's high level basketball. I love male versus Trinity. Mm-hmm. It's high level basketball. And if you aren't tough and you don't have that fortitude to try to go out and win, guess what? You're not coming through it. You're not coming through the storm. And
Right.
So it makes everybody be at their best. And, it's one of the reasons why I love coaching in the 7th region.
Right. And I was going to say, you have basically a rival. I'm going to say it with Ballard.
Yes.
And you get up, you take care of that, and then all of a sudden you got Trinity, and you guys have played Trinity tough and vice versa. So this to get up for that. So after that game with Ballard, granted, you got these games and stuff. How is the practice like? Like, do you rest them, or did y'all go full throttle, or did y'all go full throttle because it's already happened? How was that whole thought process? Like, okay, I don't want to do this. Let's get them ready for this game.
We get up a lot of shots, and then we go over their offense with our scout team, and we guard their stuff, and we know their stuff, and try to guard it the best way we know how. And then, I'm all about fresh legs and fresh minds at the end of the season. especially fresh minds. You got to want to come out there. It's a long season. We started practice October 15th.
Right.
I don't overthink things. In my playing day, I pretty much coached the way that I wanted to be coached in my playing days. And so I think about like how I wanted somebody to stay on me. I never wanted the easy way out. I wanted to get better every day. And I wanted to have fun. I want it to be something fun for the guys, knowing that I'm going to get on them to make, I tell you, winning is fun. Losing is not fun. And so it's a motivator. It's a motivator. Somebody said, are you motivated by winning or losing? I said, the fear of losing motivates me more than the enjoyment of winning. But I love to win, and so, and anytime we play, we understand that, hey, it's a small – listen, we've went to 5 overtimes in the last 2 7th region games. We understand that it could have easily went the other way, but it didn't. And I think our preparation helped us get through those games. And so I just have to believe in what we do, and so I do this. I coach pretty much, you coach each team different, but there's a lot of stuff that I do the same that I did at Hoptown that I do here. I'm not going to get away from who I am.
Right. And let me ask you, Coach, because I know, being a baller like you were, it's kind of different. Like when you, AAU and different styles like that. So you got a lot of these kids that's playing against, their friends, their buddies that they play AAU ball for and stuff like that they know, it used to be like you didn't know the other team. You maybe heard of Tim or you heard of Will.
Right.
But now I know everything you do. Like, does that play in the flavor, of it, or how does that work? I mean, have you thought about that, or?
Yeah, and I talked to him about it. I said, back when we played, and I don't want to be – I'm 42 years old. I don't want to be that old head that's like, when we played, this is what we did. But I do a little bit. I said, I don't understand guys like talking and chit-chatting and like hugging each other during a game, helping the other guy up. Like, I don't think that way. I help my teammate up. You may be my best friend, but if you got the PRP jersey on and I've got the male jersey on, like, you ain't my friend for that night.
Right.
And so I told him. Now, after the game, one thing I talked to our guys about is that let's understand that after the game's over, all the trash, all that's out the window. Like, I can literally, like, Chris Renner's a good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had the utmost respect for Mike Sabo. I've got so many friends in this business. We can go to war. They can beat me, and I can be friends with you. But when we're out there on the floor, like, no, I'm not trying. So this generation is a little bit, it's a little bit different as far as, like, you can lose an AAU game and they'll be laughing and cutting up. Like, I have a hard time understanding that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, Coach. I'm older than you. And yes, I get you.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you went to the basket, we were putting you on your butt.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And then we probably wasn't helping you up. Now, we wasn't trying to kill you.
Right.
We wasn't trying to take your head off.
A hard foul.
There's no layups tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I loved those 80s and 90s. I tell them it's the best basketball era ever, just because of how much those guys competed.
Right.
Even in the NBA, it's hard for me to watch an NBA game right now.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
Just because everybody's and you're setting out 20 games and doing all this, and I get it, I guess, but it's hard for me to understand.
No, I understand, because I know Mark and I talk about always. You'll see a score like 150 to 143. I don't know. No defense. I got to see some kind of defense out there. I can't let you go at me and get 40 or 50. There's no way.
For sure.
That's no way. Coach, I want to give everybody a chance to actually get to know Coach Tim a little bit better. So I got some questions that I want to ask you as we move into this part. What is your favorite part of coaching basketball?
Favorite part is just for me, I love the relationships with the guys. Like, I can't tell you, like, my players at Hoptown, the night we won the region, Jaquelis is calling me, Q's calling me, Jamarion's calling me. All these dudes are calling me because we have a relationship. They kept up with me, and I keep up with them. And so I love the relationship part of it, that we're friends now. Like I'm not your coach. Like I'm your friend. I'm not your friend when you're playing for me. I let them know that I'm your coach. Like I need respect. I'm going to respect you. I'm not your friend. We're not going to go to the movies and hang out. Like that's not what we do. But after you get done playing with me, then we can. You know what I'm saying? That your friend, and that's the part of coaching I love is that they know they can call me anytime, and I'll drive wherever and see them and meet them, and they can call me when they have a problem, and vice versa. Maybe I'm down a little bit. Maybe I need to call them and get boosted up. So that's my favorite part of coaching.
I love that. Love that.
And a close second is winning.
Very close. Very close. Yeah. So, Coach, what inspired you to start coaching?
At an early age, I loved basketball. My dad would go out and play with me and my brother in the backyard. Loved basketball. Loved the Lakers. Pat Riley. And then I'd say, growing up in Kentucky and watching Kentucky basketball, of course, everybody wants to be in the NBA, right? So your first thing is I'm going to be an NBA player. Then you realize that when you get to college and everybody's better than you or as good as you, then you're like, well, that ain't going to be a dream. And then, but really watching Rick Pitino at UK, like really got me thinking about coaching. Like I loved watching him coach, even to this day. Yeah, like he's my favorite. Like I love watching Rick Pitino coach, and so that was one of the main things that got me into coaching.
Okay, that's cool right there. Every team has captains, so this is basically geared to that. What do you think makes a great team captain?
Captain holds everybody accountable, but more importantly, he holds himself accountable. See, I can yell at you, hey, touch the line, but if I'm late to practice or if I'm not giving it my all the whole time, then it's hard for me to have respect for you if you're yelling at me to touch the line. So a captain has to be the hardest worker. He's got to be the guy that takes constructive criticism. He can't pout. When things ain't going his way, he can't have bad body language. When he checks out of a game, he can't untuck his jersey, go to the end of the bench. When the game's over, he can't be the one that goes to the locker room. He's got to be the one that's telling everybody to clean the bench area up. He's got to be the one to make sure that nothing's left in the locker room where it's making it look dirty for everybody. But he's telling guys, hey, care about your area, clean it up. So he's holding himself accountable and his teammates. And I think that makes a good leader. Cool.
Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Coach, do you have any pregame ritual?
Well, me and Coach Cates, I'm going to be honest with you. We started 15 games ago. We went to Hometown Pizza. I think our record, hang on, what was our record? Maybe 10-10. We were 10-10. We went to Hometown Pizza. We won. Then we went again and we won. And so I think Coach Elam, one of those guys, said, man, are you superstitious? I said, no. I said, I'll see you at Hometown Pizza. So we've been doing it for 15 games now. We're 15-0. I guess we're going to have to try to find some pizza place up in Lexington. So we just get there for 4 games.
Right. Let me see. Now, you said that, as far as coaching and stuff, and also you play. So who is your biggest role model in the sport? Who was your role model?
Oh, man, growing up, I guess basketball-wise, it was Magic Johnson. Like, he was my favorite player. I just loved the way he, 6'9" point guard, just pushed the pace the whole time. He was Showtime. And so I loved Magic. So I used to get in all these arguments at school because kids would be, it's kind of that Chicago Bulls era, and they were like, oh, Michael's the best. Now that I'm adult, I can say that Michael's the best, but when I was a kid, Magic was my guy. I really loved him.
Right. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Let me see. Let's see. What is your favorite drill to run in practice?
Oh man, I got a bunch of them. I'm not a huge drill guy. I don't guess. Like I believe in playing, and I do a lot of drills at the beginning. Like towards the beginning of the season. I'm more in incorporating stuff on like what's going to happen in a game. We do shell drill every day. I've been doing it for since 2010. Just shell drill and really getting after it in the half court. And then probably my favorite full court drill I actually got from a high school coach who's now the head coach at Pace Academy down in Atlanta. But it's called the circle trap drill. And it's a really good drill where you're just circling up. And, it's a good full court trapping drill that has guys sprinting to spots and different things.
Because I bet you've seen it all. I bet you've seen all the drills and all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. The older I've gotten, the more I'm like, okay, let's don't overthink this thing. Let's just do what we do and do it really well.
I understand.
Back when I was young, I used to be like, oh, we got to drill this, drill that. And I was like, wait a minute, we haven't played 5-on-5 the whole practice.
Mark, I'm actually on number 8, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. So, Coach, what, in one word to describe, how does it feel like when you call a winning play? Like for the players, it's like how you feel when you hit the last second shot. How does it feel when you have drawn up that winning play, that play that you know?
I know exactly the word. Relief. I'm like, hey, the other night, so I'm usually really good. Like I had the clock in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like the last 15 seconds of that game was like 5 minutes long.
And
I remember Michi told me, I want to guard Vassar in the timeout. I said, you got him. And I said, no threes. He goes up and through the double stagger, fights through it. He forces it. He gets to his left hand. Michi rods him one way, jumps as high as he can. He misses it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we've given up like 6 offensive rebounds.
Right.
And just there in the fourth quarter, I'm like, we got to rebound the ball. I told him to stop and a rebound. And so the ball's like loose. It seemed like it took forever. And then I heard the horn go off and I was like, oh my gosh, we just won. It was like delayed from me, but I was like, oh my gosh, we won.
I was going to ask you on that celebration. It looked like you was kind of delayed. So,
I was like, did the horn go? It just went off. We won. I was expecting another 3 or 4 overtimes.
All right. How you doing, Coach Tim?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good. So, how do you handle losing a big game?
We lost to St. X in the regular season, and it was the first time we had lost to them since I've been here. And and so I felt like they played really well, so give them credit. A lot of times in coaching, we start talking about the things that we didn't do well, and sometimes somebody just plays better than you. And so you have to say, you know what, they played a little bit better than us. And in that game, we was up 12. I thought we lost concentration for a couple plays. We forgot to switch the ghost screen and the dribble handoff a couple of times, and so we gave them, we gave up like 6 or 9 points, and I felt like it was us being a little undisciplined, or we relaxed a little bit. But I told them, I said, here's the thing, guys, like we lost that game, but all of our goals are still out in front of us, even when we were 3-7. I said, the games you don't want to lose is the district and the region and the state. Right. Those are the games that matter. And so I told them going into the regional tournament or district tournament, we've got a 2-game tournament. We have to win it. But we can't win the second game before we play the first one. In the region, I said, we got a 3-game tournament. We have to win it. We can't win the second and third before we take care of business with the first one. So we really focus on one game, but know what our goal is. Just like Thursday, we know it's a 4-game tournament. We got to focus in on Thursday. We can't think about Frederick Douglass or whoever we have in the second round. It's human nature to look ahead a little bit. You have to in a state tournament, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But for me as the head coach and for them as the players, I can't. So my assistant coaches have to be scouting the Frederick Douglass game, or Martin County, whoever it is that we, would play if we win. If we don't win, season's over, we go home, but if you win, you got to be ready for the next game. But it's really just focusing in on what we can control.
I want to ask you this, kind of venture off that what Mark asked and what you just got finished talking about Sweet 16, Coach. How does that experience pays off? I mean, you have how many Sweet 16s have you been to, Coach?
This is the 8th one.
And you have a lot of people that you probably get ready to coach to. I don't know how many they don't went to, maybe not have the experience. So how does that translate to you to translate to your kids? Because a lot of coaches may not know.
Right. It's little things. It's funny because even last year we hadn't been since, because in 2020 we won the region, but we didn't get to go.
Right.
So had not been since 2017. You forget some of the stuff, so, we go 20, 22, 23 now. But in 22, there's a media timeout after every dead ball under 3 minutes. Well, I've got that in my head. When I first got there, I remember you forget all those things. Now I'm coaching the game. I'm going to look up at the clock. And I'm going to see there's 3:30. I'm going to be like, can we get to the next media timeout so I can hold that timeout for later?
Right.
So those things help. Also, the media timeouts are long. So I have a chance to gather my coaches, talk. When I first got there, I told them the story. I said, we're playing Southwestern Pulaski in 2012. And I said, I'm going to talk for about 40 seconds. Well, I'll send them back out where they're just standing there for about 2 minutes. I wasn't used to it. And I was like, oh, man, I didn't know we had this much time for a timeout. So you just learn as you go to more and more. Like I've got a ton of experience there, but it's all going to come down to the players.
Right.
And you never know how kids are going to react. One of my teams at Hoptown, we just played bad. And it was the fifth time we had gone in 6 years.
Wow.
And, and we just didn't play up to our capability. So you never know. Then one of my other I had an experience, we had went in 2012, when in 2013, we go all the way to the Final Four with that team because they did have a little experience from the previous year.
Right. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's definitely. So, Coach, let's see. What other hobbies do you have outside of basketball? What other stuff do you enjoy doing?
I love just hanging out with my family. Just got Isaiah and my 2 little girls. So anything that they want to do, just go into their stuff. And then Isaiah's all about some 2K23. So I got the PS5. I got it behind me here. He was on it a little bit ago. So so we play a little PS5, especially in the off season. I'm gonna get it cranked up a little bit. We don't have as much time during the season, but you better believe after the season's over, I'm cranking that thing up.
Hey, we're gonna have to definitely get you on our gaming network, so you go ahead and play.
Okay, awesome. He must have heard PS5.
Yeah, look at him. What's up? How you doing?
How you doing?
There he is. That's what I'm
What's your
talking
favorite
about.
game on PS5?
2K.
What's your favorite team?
The Lakers.
Oh, there he goes.
In the blood.
I know, right. Who's he playing with, LeBron?
Who's better, Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe.
Thank you.
Woo! I know Mark didn't like to hear that, but
LeBron's great too.
So, Coach, do you have any advice for an aspiring young basketball player who wants to make it to the college level?
Yeah, it takes hard work, dedication. It really takes a skill set. You got to be able to find what you do very well. I tell people that all the time. You got to really, if you shoot the ball really well, go and work on your shot, become a knockdown shooter. If you can handle the ball and shoot it well, there's always going to be a spot on a team for you. If you can get from point A to point B and then knock down shots, it's a skill set. Like back when we played, it used to be tough now as far as like getting the rim. But in this era, they can't touch you as much. So if you can handle it and shoot it, there's a spot on a team for you.
Right. Coach, let me ask you this, and I know we talked about it a little bit before, but how do you have your players work on the mental part of the game?
Yeah, just so during practice, a lot of times, from a team standpoint, we'll put up down 14 with 6 minutes to go. You got to find a way to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying? The other team's the second team or third team, whatever, is trying to put you away. And so we constantly do situations, and we might do up 12 with 6 minutes to go. Can you hold the lead?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all those things come into play, and so that gets you a mental toughness from a team standpoint, from a from an individual standpoint, and they don't like them, but we run a lot of 17s. We also do towel pushes. I got that from Coach Hurley from St. Anthony's High School in New Jersey. So towel pushes is a great motivator. Bob Huggins said there's two motivating factors, treadmill and playing time. So those would be great motivators for players.
Right.
So, Coach, a lot of players listen to music before a basketball game. So, do Coach Tim listen to music before coaching the game?
Yeah, you're gonna think this is funny. All right. There's two songs. One's by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. All right. Throw It Up. And then the other one's by Bone Crusher. You know which one I'm talking about. The one back in our day.
I love it, Coach. I love it. Yes, sir.
Hey, if you can't get hyped to I Ain't Never Scared by Bone Crusher, I'm ready for anything when I hear that song.
Yeah, I love it.
Coach, you talk about the ritual, but what is Coach's post game meal?
Oh, I got two spots that we hit up all the time. We love Roosters on Preston, right there by Mail. Love that Roosters, and then if we don't go there, we'll go to the Post, the little pizza place.
Right.
And the guy that owns the Post, a Mayfield guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those are our two spots.
Cool.
Yeah,
Now,
so
if anybody
Coach,
wants to take me out to Ruth Chris Steakhouse, we can make that our next spot.
Y'all heard him. Y'all heard Coach.
Right. So, Coach, what's been your proudest moments as a coach so far?
Man, proudest moment. It's always awesome to see kids sign basketball scholarships, to get all their school paid for. So those are great moments for me for an individual player. Obviously, playing at Rupp Arena and just being able to go there, I never thought, honestly, I would ever get to go one time. Mm-hmm. So to be able to go 8 times, is a true blessing. I thank God for that. Because we could have easily never have been. And it doesn't mean you're not a successful coach if you don't go. So I'm thankful. I'm definitely thankful for those opportunities.
Let me ask you, Coach, being that you've been coach for a while, do you have your own, do you do clinics or anything? Like basketball clinics?
So I'll speak at some clinics, like some different clinics across, like Nike clinics sometimes. And so I'll speak at different things. And, we'll have our basketball camp this year at Mail. And so we do that. But, yeah, I love going to clinics as well, and hearing other coaches talk about different things that they do. It's really, one thing that I've always, playing, Coach Cronin had such a huge impact on me as a coach. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of the stuff that he does. And, but I've taken something from everybody. David Fields, who's at Murray High School, had a huge impact on me as much as anybody. He's now in the caviar business, which is crazy. He's got the number one caviar business in the country.
Oh.
But he was a huge impact on me. Jim Simmons at Hopkinsville, just a tremendous basketball coach. I was able to be an assistant with him. Mm-hmm. And then, and I just try to emulate people that are successful and just try to take something from them. I might see a game. I record, it's correct, but I record every NCAA tournament game, every one of them. So I'll set all my timers. And so I go back and I watch every game during the summer.
Wow.
And I try to, and I might pick up something that I'm like, man, we can do that, and so what I look at during a season is, can I get 4 to 6 points from me, not necessarily a player? Can I be a 4 or 6 point difference? You know what I'm saying? That's the challenge for me, because we know players win games.
Right.
And that you can go out here. If you tell me my 3 best players don't shoot the ball well, then we're not going to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just the reality of it. So, but for me, from a coaching standpoint, can I get us 4 to 6 points in a game, especially by the end of the year, that can really truly make a difference?
Wow, that's good stuff.
Still on you, Will.
No, go ahead. That's why he already answered that. That's why.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what's the best piece of advice anyone has given you about coaching basketball?
And
Not
not
to kill.
hold on, and not from a parent.
I've had a bunch of them. They know exactly what I should have been doing. I would say that true, and I'll mention this. John Kelsey, our AD, is the best athletic director in the country. Like I would run through a wall for that guy right now.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And he loves me. He loves all of his coaches. He cares about us. And really, he separated himself. Listen, I called him to get the mail job because it's mail. And then he drove all the way to Hoptown to get me.
Wow.
And he said, he ain't coming back without an answer. And for him to do that, it lets me know what level of commitment he has to the basketball program. And so, but he's taught me a great deal about life, his wisdom, and not to care what anybody outside of the circle thinks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to people, like if somebody said, man, the Will and Mark show, I think it's horrible. Well, what do you care?
Right.
They eat you. You're the ones doing your show. And guess what? If they're not your friend and they're not supportive of you, they're going to have their little comments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like people's going to have their. So the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, okay, there's going to be some haters, and you take the praise and you thank people that praise you, and the ones that hate you, you just use it. You just go on. And somebody said to use it as motivation. I don't.
Right.
I really don't. I'm motivated by the people that are in my circle. You know what I'm saying? I'm motivated by Coach Kelsey. I don't want to let him down.
Right.
Coach Cathy, another one. He's the principal at Johnson, one of my best friends in this world.
Oh, yeah.
He told me, we knew what we went through that first year. That dude was right beside me, him and Mike Balfour.
Right.
And Brandon Brentlinger. They were right there with me that first year when things was getting tough. And that's why Cathy is a great principal now at Johnson.
Yes.
And he's going to even do it. I mean, he's big. And so when you're surrounded by winners, then it helps you. It helps mold you. It helps make you who you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without a doubt. So, Coach, let me ask you this. What do you think makes a good coach?
One that's committed to his players and doesn't make it about himself. See, a lot of coaches, and a lot of coaches don't, but a lot of they'll use the word I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. See, I don't do that a lot. I use we because you're only as good as your assistant coaches, as your players, as your athletic director, your principal, teachers that are in the building, parents, you know what I'm saying? Like people that are in your corner. Right. Like if they just said, man, this is going to be Tim Haworth's program. He's the only one that's going to be in charge of it. It would be hard for me to be successful. So I think coaches have to be selfless and not make it about them. You know what I'm saying? Because, and we all like praise. We're all human beings. I love it when you guys send me a text or tweet, like a personal, and you're like, hey, Tim, congrats, man. Like, I appreciate that.
Right.
Like it's coming from somebody that's in my corner that I appreciate, that I respect. You know what I'm saying? And so we all want praise, but I have to make it about us and use the terms we will get guys better. We will do this instead of I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that,
Right. So you got Breathitt County on Thursday. In a generic answer, because we know you can't give up everything, what is it going to take for the Bulldogs to be successful in that game?
We have to limit. Last year in the first round against Warren Central, we get beaten overtime. It's two of the best teams playing in the state. We had 5 4-point turnovers, which means instead of us getting a layup, we threw it to them, and they went down and scored. So we didn't even get a shot on the goal. We have to limit the 4-point swings in the game. You have 5 of them, it's 20 points. It's hard to come back from, no matter if you're the best team or not. And so we have to limit that. 2, we have to take great shots like we have been. I mean, we've been moving the ball. I don't care about – I do care. I want them to make every one of them, okay? But I tell them, you can't worry as a player about makes and misses. You have to take great shots. And if you're open, if you tell me he's 0 for 10 and he took 10 great ones, good deal. I'll put my arm around him. We'll go to the locker room. All right. If you tell me he took 10 challenge shots, I'm going to say, we got really undisciplined.
Right.
And we didn't play well. So we have to take great shots. And then third, we have to rebound. We're a little bit undersized, and we've done a great job of rebounding because we just fight the whole game. And so just continue to fight, continue to do what we've been doing.
I see that Coach Scotty D let you guys practice at Bellarmine and things like that. So when do y'all go up to Lexington? Do y'all stay there and then practice somewhere there, or do y'all just, how's that schedule?
So we practiced at IUS and we practiced at Bellarmine twice. We practiced at Bellarmine today. We'll practice at Mail tomorrow, and then Wednesday morning they'll have a pep rally for us. Then we'll go and watch the first game at 11, so it gets the guys used to the atmosphere. Right. And then we will go practice at Memorial Coliseum, which is great because it holds about 13,000. So it's a chance to get in a big arena and shoot. Mm-hmm. And then we'll come back, relax, go over the scouting report again, get to bed early, then wake up the next morning, have a little bit of a shoot around, there at the hotel. I think they got a half basketball court, which is good at this hotel because I remember staying at it in 2013. And so we're staying at the same one that we did 10 years ago, actually. And so we'll have a little shoot around and get ready and do what we do.
I want to normally we go ahead and let you get thanks and praise. We can still do that, but I want to do something different today. You said you got what, 4 seniors?
Yes.
Give us a little rundown on the 4 seniors before you.
Okay,
Coach.
Xavier Frazier, he's a guard for us. Has just really found his niche with the team, and he comes in, gives us a great defensive presence, knocks down threes, and he just really has been just a great teammate and a great senior for us. And, he hasn't played a ton of minutes in a lot of games, but he's really found his niche here at the end of the year. Ethan Richards waited his turn for his senior year, being behind Caleb and Dez and all these dudes. And he started for us early on. He got sick at the King of the Bluegrass, and it hurt him for, I'd say for a good solid month. But he's back. And he just does whatever it takes to win. He rebounds the ball. He defends really well. He's smart. More importantly, he's a great teammate. And so never complains about playing time, never shows bad body language. And he's absolutely – I know if when he gets in the game at Rupp Arena, he's going to be ready to play. Jack Elin just had a tremendous year. Leads our team in scoring, shoots the ball. He's a Division I point guard. No doubt in my mind. I think sometimes coaches get caught up into who's the longest and who's this. Like, give me a basketball player. You give me Jack and Michi, Division I, I'll eventually win games because you win with winners and shot makers. Jack is really quick on defense. A great full court defender, and very good floor general, can make passes, just a tremendous basketball player. And more importantly, I think he's got like a 4.1 GPA. So extremely smart. He gets it, off the court. So he's going to be successful in whatever he chooses to do. Michi, one of my all-time favorite players. He'll probably be coaching with me when he gets done. Right. We've already talked about that a little bit. Probably the best leader I've ever been around, the heart and soul of male basketball. He represents everything that I wanted to be in a player and everything that I want to be in a coach.
Love it.
Just a leader, just never has a bad day, never has anything bad to say about his teammates or his coaches. Loyal, the dude's loyal. Like he knows what life is about. His parents have raised him well. And they've raised a really good boy. And I'm telling you, there's nobody I'd rather go to war with than Michi White. Dude's a flat-out winner.
Right.
If I was a D1 coach, I'd be all over him.
Right. You tell Michi and you tell Jack, because they came on the show, they've been lights out, man. They've been lights out. They've been Tell them been lights out.
Is there any way we can get them on Wednesday night?
We'll be on. All they got to do is call in, hit that link. But Coach, for real, man, I tell you what, going to your games and I love the flooring. I love the space you guys create. I mean, it's just like it's so great that when I'm sitting there talking to people, talking to Mark, talking to Brandon, and I'm like, look at, I mean, like you guys make it so difficult for help defensive and things like that. The big guy, Gasaway, that's the first time I saw him. He was rocking and rolling down there and hitting threes. I said, oh my goodness, Coach got something special right here.
He's such a mismatch problem. We can go to our motion offense. We can go to set plays, side pick and roll. Jason is special because he can roll or he can pop. You know what I'm saying? And he's a kid that hit 21 threes and I think 21 threes in a row in warm-ups at Scott County. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he can absolutely shoot it. The great news about those guys is Cole's a freshman and he's a sophomore.
Right. And I'm
so,
going to tell you,
going to be here for a while.
And I'm going to tell you, I was really impressed with Max, my guy Max. Because I've seen him play, basketball, and it seemed like he just took it to another level. A floor general. I'm so proud of Max Gainey, big time.
Max is a flat-out winner. Like, we are not in this position without Max. Against Christian Academy, they decided kind of not to lay off of him. He had 29 points, hit 7 threes. He's shooting like 45% for the year on threes. This team reminds me of one of my teams at Hoptown, where we almost shot 800 threes and shot it really well. We were small. We pressed all over the court like we do now. And I had a point guard, Shorty Cager, that reminds me of Max. And they're both extremely fast and takes their speed to another level. Like when you see Max like turn different people around in practice, and you're like, oh man, he just did that to a really good defender. You're like, he's special, and he's such a winner. He's a great kid. Like I enjoy being around Max. I can't remember one time that he's pouted.
Right.
Like I really can't. And I'm on there. You know what?
We know, Coach. We know, Coach. We know. And tell Mr. Cole if he don't follow us, we can't get him on the show, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's got to follow you.
Yeah.
I'll tell him we won't draw up a play for him for the first 5 possessions if he don't follow you.
All that stuff, Coach. The floor is yours, man. What do you need to tell the Bulldog Nation to go ahead and do for you guys for coming up to Lexington? The floor is yours, man. What is needed?
Hey, we are honored. I'm honored to be the coach here. I love Mel High School. The guys love playing here, going to school here. It's just a different energy level. You know it, and so we're going to fight like crazy to get a state championship. We're going to take it one game at a time. But win or lose, we're walking off that floor with our head high and know that we gave it everything we got. I believe in my heart we're going to win it. I always believe that, but we're going to absolutely give it everything we got.
Hey, Coach, Mark and Will, we wish you nothing but the best. You and the team.
Yes, sir.
So proud of you. So proud of the boys. And like you said, Coach Kelsey, the best AD in the country. We great put in the world. I don't think there's nobody in the world. So we great making world, baby.
She's in the world. Mark that
down. Hey, we wish y'all nothing but the best, man. And go ahead and bring it back, Coach.
Man, thank you guys so much. Love you guys for real.
Love you, Coach.
Love you too.
I love you too.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about, Coach. Coach, yeah. If you don't know, if you never met that guy, shame on you. The dude, he is genuine throughout. Big time, man. So, hey, we just want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank Coach. Good luck to the Bulldogs. Yes, we got some interviews coming up. You know what I'm saying? We got a special wrestler coming up tomorrow. We got a basketball player on Wednesday. Hey, thank you guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe. All that good stuff. We out of here. Peace out.
Good night. Wednesday night, tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Mel and PIP's in on this legacy. Let's go. What you know about this legacy?
Wednesday night, tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Get your popcorn, I know you need this medicine. Let's go.